Today on TaxFriend Online, I'm going to answer the following questions. I only worked part-time last year. Do I have to file taxes? I literally made like $100, man. Do I have to file, really? I've only made like $100,000. Do I have to file? And the answer is an adamant maybe. But the good news is I'm going to show you how to answer this question. But before we do, a word from our affiliate partner, TurboTax. Now, why worry about all these details? Why stress? Just click the link below and be transferred to the TurboTax website and take advantage of their GPS guided software. And did I mention free one-on-one support? So today I'm going to answer the question, am I required to file federal taxes? Now, filing requirements may change every year, so let's go to the IRS website and get the most updated info. Here in the address bar, I'm going to type in irs.gov. .gov, which brings me to the IRS website. And in the search bar on the top right, I'm going to type in Form 1040 Instructions. Okay, so the search on the second search here, it yields Instructions 1040 in Adobe PDF format. So I'm going to click that link, and it's going to bring up the Adobe PDF format of the Form 1040 instructions. And notice here the 2011 tax year. Now, I've already downloaded this PDF format, so I'm just going to bring it up here. And page 8 of the instruction form, chart A, here's a handy dandy little chart that's going to tell you whether or not you're required to file federal taxes or not. Now, remember, this is for only people that will not be claimed as a dependent. If you can be claimed as a dependent by somebody, then there are other filing requirements which I'm going to go over in the next tutorial. But this is for non-dependent people. So you'll notice in the chart, the first column here is your filing status. The second column here is your age and your spouse's age if you're married. And the third column here is your gross income. So let's go over some examples. Let's say I'm married, I'm filing jointly, I'm 67 years old, my wife is 65 years old, and last year I made a gross income of $8,000. So we go down and find the filing status that applies. Married, filing jointly. Here we go. And here it says under 65 both spouses, 65 or older one spouse, 65 or older both spouses. In this case, I'm 67, my wife is 65, so we go with 65 or older both spouses. And then we go over to the third column, and it says if your gross income was at least $21,300, then you're required to file. In this case, last year gross income was $8,000, which is less than $21,300, so no, I'm not required to file. Now let's say I'm single, I'm 19, and last year I made $18,000. So let's go down to the filing status and see what applies. Single right here. Go over to the next column. And how old are we? 19. We're under 65 right here. So we go over to the next column. And if your gross income was at least $9,500, then you're required to file. In this case, our gross income was $18,000, well over $9,500. So yes, we are required to file. And third example, let's say I'm filing as a head of household. 42 years old. Last year I made $52,000. Okay, so filing status, we go down, see what applies, head of household. Here we go. We go over to the next column, and we're 42 years old in this example, which is under 65. So we go over to the next column, and it says if your gross income was at least $12,200, in which case your gross income was $52,000, well over $12,200. So yes, we are required to file. Now, before we wrap up the tutorial, there's a bunch of things that may require you to file. I'm going to go over it, and it's going to be super boring. Good news is the mind can comprehend much faster than we can speak. So go ahead, nod off right now, and if something applies to you, take note. You may need to file. Do you have federal taxes withheld from your pension and wages for this tax year and wish to get a refund back? Are you entitled to an earned income tax, or did you receive advanced earned income tax for this tax year? Were you self-employed with earnings of more than $400? Did you sell your home? Will you owe any special taxes on a qualified retirement plan, including an IRA or an MSA? Receive an early distribution from a qualified plan? Made excess contributions to your IRA or MSA? were born before July 1st, 1940, and you did not take the minimum required distribution from your qualified retirement plan, receive the distribution in excess of $160,000 from a qualified retirement plan. Will you owe Social Security and Medicare tax on tips you did not report to your employer? Will you owe uncollected Social Security and Medicare or railroad retirement tax on tips you reported to your employer? Will you be subject to an alternative minimum tax? The tax law gives special treatment to kinds of income and allows special deductions and credits for some kinds of expenses. Will you owe recapture tax? Are you a church employee with income and wages of $108.28 or more from a church or a qualified church-controlled organization that is exempt from employer Social Security or Medicare tax? Take note, if any of those apply to you, you may need to file.